Meow. Good morning, Janine. I was thinking it looks like Rhonda must not be here. Usually by the time I actually start the live stream, there's like 20 pages of comments when she's here. Must be working today. You don't know what that's about, do you, Bite? Never had to work a day in your life. This is your work, right? Sitting on the couch getting pet. Yeah, I was at the side of those screams last night. Last night was the first night I was in the incinerator I kind of got to actually start developing a routine. Last time I was there, they actually came and got me out of the incinerator about 10 minutes into the show and moved me over to the Van Winkle Memorial, which is where I've worked in the past when I work as a dentist. Apparently, the dentist didn't show up that night, and so they needed somebody in there, and I'm the one that has the experience, so it was me. Right, Bite? You'll have to come more into the shot, Bite, if you're going to get that, because I can't read at an angle. No, I can't, because when I tip the camera to you, the text gets too far away from me. I can't read it because I'm old and have bad vision. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Spaniel Mom. How's everybody doing today? Wow. Yeah, you come over here and join us. We'll tip it down a little bit so they can see your pretty face. See you drooling when I pet you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Tracy. Thank you. You know, we're starting to get into fall. You shouldn't be shedding as much anymore. It's not supposed to work that way. You're supposed to stop shedding in the fall. The fur is just flying right now. I can even see Nibble peering around the corner here. Let's get maybe our only shot of her today. She doesn't. There she is, right there, peering around the corner here. See what's going on. See if we're gonna dish any treats out. You gotta be faster than that, Nibble. Mike just stole it from her and scared her back into her room. Oh well. I guess that's all we're gonna see of her. We tried. Okay, let's see what's going on here. No, I don't. They've never been in the bathtub. Cats are pretty clean animals. It's not like they live outdoors and roll around in the mud like dogs will do. Good morning, Connie. How are you? Good morning, Jean. Another wonderful Sunday morning. Yeah, I got over the idea of giving cats baths. When I worked at a when I got out of when I was right out of high school, I worked at a vet, and I was the one that had to give the animals baths. About half of them were cats, and trust me, cats do not like baths. Some dogs are okay with it, others not, but cats almost universally hate the water. Am I going to give you a tour of Silo of Screams? Yeah, John has given me permission to shoot video in there this year, but I want to kind of establish my routine and kind of figure out what I'm doing before I shoot any video. But I was thinking I might bring the camera next week and we might put something in there and see what we get. I had a blast last night. Oh, Connie's getting over COVID. That's no fun. 2 weeks for the entire family. Wow. Yeah, it's still here. We're just gonna have to get used to this thing. It's part of our world now. Yeah, yeah. My mom was really happy with the letter. She also kind of laughed a little bit when I told her I turned it into a vlog. But you got to know that's going to happen. You know, anything's going on in my life, you know, it's going to be the subject of a vlog. Get my water closer here. I'm doing things a little different now. I used to kind of sit on the edge of the couch, but I'm kind of pulling the laptop a little closer to me so I can lean back here and be a little bit more comfortable. Sometimes I think I end up with kind of a bad back at the end of the live stream because I'm kind of sitting up on the edge of the couch. No, I'm playing my roles mute right now. In fact, I'm going to do a video today, kind of explaining how it is I compensate for me playing things mute. You'll have to wait. You'll have to wait about a week to see that one, but it kind of arised out of an issue that happened last night. Does anyone recognize me at the side? Nobody recognized me last night. Um, well, I mean, somebody did, but I think it was one of the staff people. Because I guess I have a few viewers that actually are Silo of Screams cast members because I've done a couple of videos where I show the mask, and so people see me in the mask and say, "Are you Brack?" Yeah, but I think they're cast members, so I've done a few videos for them, and I'm guessing I maybe got one or two subscribers as a result. So I'm glad you're here. Yeah, the bird. I've been meaning to hit that birdhouse place for a long time. I wish I could have met the guy. Apparently, that's one of those things I found on Roadside America. And according to Roadside America, they have like feedback from people who visited different places. And some of the feedback indicates that the guy who built all those places sometimes comes out and talks to people who are visiting. But that didn't happen to me. Oh yeah, yeah. My height is probably a clue. It's also a factor in where John puts me every year. Last night I was in the incinerator. He put me in the position called the greeter, which is basically it's the first live person to run into in the maze. And one of the reasons he likes to use me is because I'm a big guy, and so I fill up the area and I'm intimidating, especially with that mask on and with an axe in my hand. Yeah, see, I've been lucky with this whole COVID thing. To my knowledge, I haven't gotten it. Now, they say some people who get it remain asymptomatic, and maybe I'm one of those, or maybe I just didn't get it. I only got the initial vax. I got the Johnson and Johnson one, which was a single shot, and basically it was something that they gave away for free at work. I said, you know what? Anything that's going to get me out of this stupid mask, I'll do it. And that's all I have. I haven't been boosted. I haven't been anything else. And I haven't taken any extraordinary precautions at all. I don't wear masks at all now. I haven't had a mask on in probably a year. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe I got it and just one of those people who's asymptomatic. But I got to admit, I was never really afraid of the thing. I didn't get the vaccine because I was afraid of getting the virus. I got the vaccine because I was tired of the masks. Yeah, I know. Rhonda carries 90% of the conversation. So yeah, the soup is delicious. Yeah, I got two big containers out of it, probably like what, two, three, 4 quart containers filled with it. And I got one in the freezer, I got one in the fridge, and I'm enjoying the soup. So yeah, in fact, I'm still eating some of the tomato soup I made a couple weeks ago. I'll probably finish that out this week though. I like that. That was a really good recipe. I'll go back to that one. I've been thinking about putting a new playlist on the channel just of my favorite recipes because there's ones that I've done that I like more than others. And it'd be fun, I think, just to put the ones I really like. And that tomato soup would definitely end up as one of my favorites. I was concerned about using the kind of smoky tomatoes for it, but it was a really, really good flavor. How are the new glasses working out? I like them. I'm using them a lot. I mean, I don't wear them all the time. These are my readers. These are what you always see me wear. But when I'm driving, I'm wearing them. When I went to the Flaming Lips last week with Jordan, I wore them, and it's like that was part of the really fun part. Is like it was like watching a show for the first time in high definition, and that is a show that you really needed to see in high def. That was an amazing show, and the glasses really enhanced it. That rib recipe is another one that would end up on the favorites list. That was a really good one too. You have friends, you get Purple Martin condos, and you say outside they swoop on you. That's cool. I didn't see a single Purple Martin. I would have loved to it, but I think it might be too late in the season. It's getting to be fall now. It's cooling off a little bit. It isn't miserably hot anymore, but I don't think the birds have migrated yet. But probably all the young now are out of the boxes, out of the nests, and they're just out hunting during the day. So I probably missed them. Maybe if I were there later in the evening, I'd catch them all going in at night, or if I were there earlier in the morning, I'd catch them all coming out. But that picture I had of the for the cover photo, I actually had to find out online. They're very beautiful birds, though. I would love to have seen some of them. They also supposedly keep hawks away, huh? I didn't know that. See, that's why I like doing this vlog more than anything else. Is that I always have people that give me pieces of information I didn't know. I learned something from it, right, Bite? Do you learn anything from the vlogs? No, didn't think so. I always like it kind of when we get the lags in the conversation right about the 15-minute marks because I put that's where I'll put an ad right there where there was that little lag in the conversation there. made the gumbo. Yeah, the gumbo is another good one. What I would do differently, I think it was a mistake to cook the rice with the gumbo. I would, in the future, cook the rice separately because I think a lot of the rice just kind of dissolved. It just kind of turned into the mush in the gumbo. But I could see the advantage of having the gumbo on the rice. No, I was hoping to meet the guy at the who had the bird condos, but he didn't see me. Sometimes apparently he comes out and talks to visitors, but either he didn't see me or he wasn't there or something like that. And I did stay off the property. I don't go on people's private property. I stayed behind the gates. The only other thing I would do differently with a gumbo is I'd probably cut the shrimp into smaller chunks. I like the shrimp, but I like it to have it be maybe a little bitty bite rather than, oh, there's a whole mouthful of shrimp right there. Yeah, yeah, it was really impressive seeing all of those condos there. And he's apparently taken the whole thing seriously too, because the road that he's on has been named after the purple martin, and apparently he is very into those birds. Jordan's already posted his vlog on the Flaming Lips. It's the one that talks about the what was the name of the ranch? The ranch that Willie Nelson has. He posted it. He posted his the day before I posted mine. Well, I do want to kind of make my yard kind of a bird sanctuary. I have bird feeders out there and bird baths and stuff like that. And I have put I have put food out there, and I've thought about putting bird houses out there. So that may happen at some point. I won't go as all out as that guy did, but I wouldn't mind having some bird houses out there. I might even make them myself. Luck Ranch, Dale. Thank you. I lock up on the names sometimes. Yeah, go back and look at Jordan's vlog. It was about a week ago, called about Luck Ranch. He probably posted it like last Monday. His visit to Luck Ranch, to Willie. I think he called it Willie Nelson's Luck Ranch, and that was the one of the Flaming Lips video. I haven't watched it yet either, but I'm going to. I just want to see if I'm in it. I think maybe he got a shot of me or two of me at the show. I got to remember to keep putting the water in the freezer about 15 minutes before I go on, because I like having nice cold water during a live stream. You got a shot of me in the car. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I do remember that. But I thought he got like maybe a shot of me when we were watching the show too. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched it, so I will at some point. I got to say though, I think I was more impressed with that band Particle Kid than I was Flaming Lips. Flaming Lips were great. Don't get me wrong. It's just I kind of knew what I was expecting with that, and they didn't disappoint. It was a great show. But Particle Kid, I knew nothing about it except that it was Willie Nelson's son, and I was blown away by them. They were great. Is it still hot in Waco? No, it's cooling off a little bit. It's getting into the 50s and 60s at night, and I think we're only supposed to get into like the mid 80s today, and we're supposed to be into like the 70s by the end of the week. So got a cold front coming in, I think, on Thursday. So I'm ready for it. That's one of the great things about weather in Waco is about the time you get tired of it, it changes. No, we haven't gotten any rain. It hasn't rained in more than a month. I don't know. I've been thinking about going back out to the lake and see what happens. Because see, the water level in Lake Waco isn't exclusively dependent on rain. There's a river that feeds the lake, and so if the river is flowing, the water level may be coming back up again. The problem is just water demand was so much during the summer, and combine that with evaporation and no rain coming, it just got down to critical levels. But it should have bounced back a little bit. Maybe I'll take a look out there at some point. Yeah, that's about how long it's been here since we had any rain. I think I showed you, did a little video when it rained last, and it rained a little bit. It was a nice storm and poured some water for a bit, but it wasn't a significant amount of rain. At least not significant compared to what Texas is capable of. But I've only been here for a few years, so I'm not quite sure yet what all of the what the extremes, what extremes are possible. Although from talking to people who've been here all their lives, I do seem to have experienced the extremes. That winter we had last year where it froze solid for like a week and a half, that was extreme on one end. And then this summer where it hardly rained at all, that was another extreme. A lot of people say, they've never seen something like that. So I don't know. I guess I've seen the extremes. Everything should be normal now. If I can survive that, I can survive anything, right? It's been a weird, weird summer all year or weird summer all of this country, everywhere in this country. You think you're still in a drought in Iowa? Yeah, I think we probably are still considered drought. I haven't looked at the website that talks about watering in Waco, but last I checked, we're still rationing. So, but fortunately, it's cooling off now, so it isn't as much an issue. It was more of an issue in the summer. When it's 100 every day, 105 every day, and you can only water 2 days a week, that pummels your yard. Good morning, Chris. Hold a little closer here. It's funny, about 2/3 of the laptop right now is hanging off the end of the table, so it'd be so easy for the thing to tip, but it's holding its own. So that just means you get a close up of this ugly mug. Not too close. You don't want to look like this, huh? Yeah, I don't blame you. Even I didn't like that. Hey, bite. Meow. 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 Now, okay, he's going to come up and join us here. But you got to come over here so they can see you. They're watching you from all over the world, and you're just hiding there in the corner. My tomatoes are actually starting to produce now. I noticed that there's one that will be ready to pick probably in the next day or so, and there's a couple dozen green ones on the plant now. So maybe it just needed it to cool off a little bit. But I think I am going to get some tomatoes. Right now, there aren't enough of them coming off the thing that I'm doing anything more than just pulling them off the vine and plopping them into my mouth. But they aren't even making them into the house. But that's okay. I love tomatoes. How's my mom doing? Let's see. I actually noticed I got a text message from her, so let's read it here. Let's see what we got here. It's still hot there. They keep waiting for the cool down, but nothing yet. Hope you're doing well. Uh, she knows. She said she knows my Halloween plans, but want to know what you guys are doing. Uh, do you get a lot of kids? She wants to know. She wants to know if Rhonda gets a lot of kids in Canada. Maybe Rhonda can respond if she watches this one on playback. And since I guess she wants to know what everyone else is doing outside of the country too. She says it's fun to know other traditions. So that's it. Yeah, she's doing good. She's suffering in the heat, but basically, you know, just staying indoors and doing her thing. So did Jordan ever get to meet Willie Nelson or tour his bus? No, no. We're not even sure Willie Nelson was there. Jordan thinks he saw the bus, but if Willie was there, he did make an appearance. How were the lips? The lips were great. Yeah, it was everything I expected from him. And we were right up front too, so it was great. It was great to see him. And I was wearing my new glasses with him too, so it was like watching video on high def for the first time. That was definitely a concert you wanted to see very, very clearly. Yeah, late bloomer tomatoes. I don't know if that's the species, if they wait that late, or if it was just because it was a really weird summer. But I'm getting tomatoes now, so I had one a couple weeks ago, and it was yummy. I pulled it right off the vine and plopped it right into my mouth. Do I wear the new glasses at work? Sometimes, not generally when I'm on the line, but there's like a little display screen on the back of each of the lines. There's eight production lines in my department, and there's like a LED light screen on the back of the room that kind of says how the production was for that day. And without the glasses, I can kind of see the color codes in the back of it, but I can't really read the numbers. And so I usually wear them when I walk onto the, walk back to my department at the beginning of the shift, so I can kind of see how each of the lines produced. But generally, when I'm actually on the line working, no, I don't. I don't think they're going to be glasses that I wear all the time. But I have noticed now that from time to time, I'm wearing them when I'm vlogging too. If you watch the Purple Martin video, there's a couple points where I had the camera on me, and yeah, I was wearing the glasses. I didn't even realize I was wearing them until I was editing the video, and I said, "Oh yeah, I was wearing the glasses. I forgot I even had them on." There's Bite. Meow. Another lag in the conversation to 30 minutes. It's funny how that works. Are you making that happen? Huh? Is that your doing? I think it's time to make mom's lasagna again. Actually, last time I made it, I cut it up into slices and put it in containers. And I actually have a couple more meals of it in the freezer. So that's the beauty of that stuff. That stuff freezes forever. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Bite and Nibble know their name. Right, Bite? If I were to call you Nibble, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about, would you? But it's funny, they'll be walking around the room, I'll call their name and they'll turn and look at me. So they know their name. Tracy loves you, Bite. What do you think of that? That's from Tracy. Bite says, meow. He's a good boy, though. Not a good little boy, though. He's a good big boy, aren't you? Yes, you are. You know, 7-Eleven named a hot dog after you? Yeah, called the Big Bite. You're just kind of bored right now, aren't you? I mean, what do you do when I'm not dishing the treats? Thinking with your stomach. All right, Bite's taking off for a moment here. Okay, come in for the close up. Felt like kind of a Wayne's World kind of thing. Extreme close up. Ah! All right, thanks for stopping in, Tracy. See you next time. Do the cats come around when I cook? No, they're pretty much in their room when I'm cooking. But they've never really gotten in the habit of mooching for food because I don't generally give them people food. So they don't necessarily make the connection that, hey, he's cooking. Maybe we could eat that. I don't know. Maybe Nibble would love me more if I did, but it's okay. She makes Bite happy, so that's all that matters. Guess you're on a union break every 15 minutes. Must be that. Sorry to say, though, I don't pay union wages. I'm really kind of ripping you off because you're not getting paid at all for this. What about when I reach for the almonds? Do they think it's treats? No, but I'll tell you a funny story. I've actually accidentally grabbed the kitty treat jar. And when I thought I was grabbing the almond jar, I reached in and was like, these aren't almonds, these are kitty treats. I don't want to eat those. Fortunately, I didn't discover my mistake too late. I've seen any new movies. What's the last new movie I've seen? I don't really go. I don't see movies in the theater. I can't tell you the last movie I saw in a theater. I wait for things to come out on DVD or Blu-ray and get it that way. That way I can kind of watch it on my own pace. If I need to pause in the middle to go to the bathroom, I can do that. How old are the kitties again? I think they hit 15 uh, back in March. I think we did. I think I did a live stream on that because I think I just happened to come upon the kitties' birth records because I think at that point we were trying to figure out. I was getting ready to go to California, and one of the things I had to do was get the cats vaccinated before they could be boarded. And I pulled out the kitty records. It's like, it looks like they're 15 years old. I know the cats generally aren't that big a fan of the doorbell ringing, but I don't think it'll be an issue with trick or treaters because when I was in California, um, the trick or treaters never made it to the door. I was always hiding in the backyard. The door was actually covered up, and I expect it'll be the same this time. I'll be out in the yard somewhere. Hey, Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff. Off to get some Italian food. That sounds good. That's what we always face with Jeff. We get him to stop in here for a few minutes between church and lunch. But we'll take what we can get. Italian does sound good, though. That's probably my second favorite ethnic food. Can't go wrong with Italian. You saw the new Elvis movie. Jordan didn't like the Elvis movie. I don't know. I'm not enough of an Elvis fan that I was interested. Oh yeah, we appreciate you stepping in as much as you do, Jeff. You're here almost every week, so there you go, Susan. It's on the channel. I'm still looking for a good chili recipe that would work in the Instant Pot. There's got to be something out there. It's funny. I think I just saw Jordan's mom posted something about making chili too. Yours isn't really spicy. That's okay. We can fix that. You sent me an instant. Maybe that was what I heard come through just a minute ago. I got a Gmail just a minute ago. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got it. Let's see what the recipe looks like here. Chili powder, of course, you got to have that. 2 pounds chuck roast, 1 pound shoulder roast, chili powder, dried pinto beans, diced tomatoes, bell peppers, onions, garlic clove, parsley, butter, vegetable oil, salt, ground black pepper, and cumin. That sounds good. I might try that. Yeah, well, and if anything, I can add to the spice, no problem. That's not going to be an issue at all. I got all sorts of things to augment it, and I probably wouldn't even waste any of my hot sauce. I'd just go buy some serrano peppers from the grocery store. Everything's made better with serrano peppers, right? Yeah, I like my stuff to be so spicy you don't even have to cook it. It's just hot naturally. It's got a natural radioactivity. I'm not usually a fan of beans in chili just because they make me a little gassy. Beans tend to do that to me. Although that instant pot soup that I made a couple of weeks ago that was up recently, um, that was an exception. That had a lot of beans in it, and that hasn't really been much of a problem. The recipe you sent is based on Jason's Restaurant to the Stars 1950s. Okay, yeah. Has the okra plant slowed down? The okra plants have been removed now. Yeah, they're done. I cut them down about a week ago, and right now they're just in the yard, big mulch. So yeah, we're done with the okra for the year. But we had a tremendous harvest. That was far and away the most successful part of the garden this year was the okra. I don't know if I'll do it again because I'm not enough of a fan of okra to, say, okay, I need it every year. But it was fun doing it, and I got a good harvest, and I've got a whole bunch of frozen okra now that we can use for a while. Gonna try new soups if you some new soups if it ever gets cold in Florida. It doesn't ever really get cold in Florida though, does it? It goes from hot to warm. But I would definitely recommend that one from that I did out of the package the last week or two. Yeah, I suppose I probably could manipulate the tomato plants to get them to produce more. Yeah, I guess I was aware that Hormel was in Austin. I have cousins that live in Austin, and so I've been there a few times. I think I visited the Spam Factory. They have a Spam museum in Austin. Have a good lunch, Jeff. You got the utilities back. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people are still without power in Florida. I guess Jeff was back on about an hour or a day after, but he lost power for a while too. He live streamed a couple times during the whole excitement. Yeah, I'm not really a huge Spam fan either. Reading by candlelight was strange. Yeah, it's like your forefathers. Everyone used to have to do that. Meow, meow. Yeah, right. Abe Lincoln vibe, right? That's true. How 70s of you? 1870s. I've had it a few times. It's okay. It's just it's never. I've never gotten to the point where I crave and say, "Gee, I could really go for some spam right now." My grandmother used to make it, used to prepare it sometimes. She'd just fry it up like ham. It was all right. No, I would never refer to anyone by their age. Plus the fact if you're admitting you're 150 years old, I'm gonna have to do a whole vlog on that. You look good for a mummy. And another pause in the conversation at the 45-minute mark. Funny how that works. There'll be an ad right there, I guarantee you. Oh, Gene's computer went flaky. Yeah, I know what that's like. It's really frustrating when you're doing a live stream and your computer goes flaky. Right now, everything looks good. I did a live stream cooking vlog back when I was in the apartment a long time ago. Am I still using the Fitbit? No, not really. Um, I would wear it at work a lot, but they kind of banned them at work. So that was I think I was getting a lot of steps every day because of all the walking I do at work, and it just wasn't as much anymore. Plus the fact the Fitbit thing I had was a little bit weird because every once in a while it would forget about my phone. It would lose connection to my phone, and then it was like a major pain because then I got to go reset it up again, and it was just a pain for working, for getting it to work. And I don't need some app to tell me, hey, you haven't gotten 10,000 steps today. you know I get more than 10,000 steps every day at work, and a lot of times I'm walking at night. So yeah, the company gave us the thing for free, but they didn't want us wearing it at work. So I don't know. And there were rewards. I got enough steps on mine that I got to a certain reward level, but I think I got like a $75 Home Depot gift card. So that went into a project in the yard probably 2 years ago or something like that. But no, I haven't really worn it lately. I still have it. I suppose if I get bored, I could start up again. But like I said, I don't need an app to inspire me to go out and do walks. I like walking just by myself. So what do you see out there? Bite's kind of peering out the window right now. There's like two windows kind of on either side of the fireplace behind the laptop, and both of them have like shades on them. But I leave the shade on that one open a little bit so that Bite can get up there and look out the window. He likes to do that. He likes to watch the squirrels out in the yard. California is third on the list for the most expensive state to live in. Yeah, I don't doubt that. New York is one of them. Probably San Francisco is the other one, right? Do I close the pool in the winter, or is it open all year long? No, I haven't covered it yet, but the pool is mostly closed now. It's too cold to be in there. I mean, I suppose I could go in there, but I like it when it's in the mid 80s, and it's like in the upper 70s right now. That's a little chilly for me. I don't know. I suppose if it got really hot out, it might be nice to be in there, but It's a little chilly at this point. Not too chilly. I mean, I could go in there, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that inviting right now. Yeah, I've heard the term Taxachusetts. Hello, Bill. How are you doing? DC could be one, but DC is not technically a state, so I think the comment was most expensive state, and I would guess it's New York and San Francisco are the one and two. Oh wait, no, well, San Francisco, that isn't a state though, is it? Geez, I'm violating my own rules here. So I suppose it could be Massachusetts. Lights laying over there on the floor purring. Yeah, well, yeah, Washington, Oregon, Hawaii. Yeah, okay, so Hawaii. Yeah, I guess I didn't think of that. Yeah, I got my friend Matt who lives in Hawaii, and yeah, everything is more expensive. I haven't been there in a long time, but I remember the culture shock when I went there and went to a Burger King and saw that their 99-cent Whopper was $1.49. But that's because everything has to be shipped in from over the ocean. Very little is produced there. Unless you want like a pineapple or something like or coconut. Pretty much everything else is coming in from across the ocean. Fish, I suppose. Probably get all sorts of fish in Hawaii. But yeah, everything is horribly expensive in Hawaii. So yeah, now that you mentioned that, that doesn't surprise me at all. So it's probably New York, California, and Hawaii. And oops, sorry, just punched the laptop here. Mississippi is the cheapest state. Okay, Texas is a good state too. I have not regretted for one moment my decision to move here. This is a good place. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Hawaii, New York, California, Massachusetts, and Oregon. I guess I can see all of that. So we haven't really talked that much about food lately here. What's a good food to eat in the fall? How's that for an open-ended conversation starter? Cat food? Yeah, but that's your answer to everything. Pumpkin pie, yeah, that's a good call for. You can't go wrong with a good pumpkin pie. That's one thing. I don't really do a lot of bites and nibbles segments where I'm making desserts. Pumpkin bread with Philadelphia cream cheese. I guess I never would have thought of that. I mean, pumpkin bread, yeah, and I love cream cheese, but I would never have thought of putting the two together. It could be good. Zucchini bread, yeah, yeah, that's good. I like zucchini. Hey, bye. Come on. Your audience awaits. No, just gonna stay there and look sad and pathetic, huh? Yeah, you poor unfed thing. Apple pie is good. Now, I've never been a teetotaler. Comfort foods in fall and winter, yeah. What's the next bites and nibbles video? I don't know, but that could happen anytime. A bite and nibble video is usually just something that I wake up one morning and say, I'm going to do a cooking vlog today. So it could happen anytime. It's also generally driven by how long it takes me to eat the last thing that I made. Because you got to remember, I produce these things, but I don't throw it in the trash. I have to eat all of it. So, and since I still got a lot of that soup I made a couple weeks ago, the beauty is that stuff freezes really well. Yeah, pot roast. I like pot roast. Pot roasts are good. I don't make pot roasts often enough. The food sky high, food price is high in Waco. It's high everywhere, but I don't think it's as high here as it is everywhere else because our gas prices are low, and part of what drives the food prices and the prices of everything is the fact that it costs so much to transport it, and it costs less to transport stuff in Texas. So thought about jazzing up zucchini bread by adding coconut. I don't know how that would work. That seems odd to me, but it could be good too. I don't know. No, I haven't. Don't have anything in mind in terms of visiting Jordan, but he did mention it when he was here last weekend that I need to come visit him. So we may do it at Kalu to jazz it up. Yeah, I suppose that'll work. Chocolate chips. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I what I think about chocolate chips and zucchini bread. Instant pot roast. Yeah, see that I was thinking that could probably be easily done. It would have to be instant pot roast though, wouldn't it? And then it's then you got to wonder. It's like, wait, is that what I think it is? I continue to be amazed by that instant pot though. You should submit to me about the cooking results of the videos. Yeah, well, definitely. Let me know. When you try them. Put it in the comment for the videos. Like I tried this, I really liked it, or I tried it, it wasn't a fan, or whatever. Video your versions of my recipes, huh? Yeah, or just put it on YouTube and put a link in the comments section. Kahlua is the main ingredient. I suppose it could be the main ingredient in a lot of things. More vodka. I don't know if Charlotte and Logan are watching today, but Rhonda tells me that every time I take a glass of water, that's what they say. Oh, he's drinking vodka. I don't know what I think about the fact that I've introduced young girls like that to vodka, but whatever. You bake it first for about a half hour to brown, and then put it in the instant pot. I'm wondering if you could just, because the instant pot has a saute mode, you could probably brown it that way too. Because I know a lot of the recipes I've done start off with, using it in saute mode, and then you just go from there. Think it'd be better than or Julia Child baking show. Okay. Cooking with Breck and followers, huh? Eh, it couldn't hurt. Just keep in mind if you put an internet link on a comment in one of the videos, it won't appear immediately because I have to approve those because I set it up to set up YouTube so it automatically blocks web channels because people try and put porn sites on stuff like that. So if you put it up and it doesn't appear immediately, that's why. But if it's a legitimate something, you know, I'll make it go live when I see it. It might be 24 hours later, but got to protect you from the adult videos that people love to. There's just I'm guessing it's bots that are out doing that. That every few days, they try and put a porn video on one of my channels. In the comments section, a link to that, and so I said nuts to that, and I banned, or at least initially blocked anything with a web address. Dirty cooking, yeah, right. We have dirty dancing, now there's dirty cooking. Any more home projects in mind for next year? Yeah, I got something that I'll probably be doing. It's an outdoor project that'll probably be popping up before too long. And I'm gonna have to put a cover on the pool at some point. And I got a different idea this year about how I want to do that. So that's gonna take some work. But I got kind of a picture in my head of what I want to do. It may seem really elaborate, but the problem I need is I need to figure out a way to make sure that the pool cover is higher in the middle than it is on the edge, so water doesn't pool on top of it. And that's always been a problem, even with those like pillow things that I bought, because the pillows don't hold air all winter, and so they deflate, and then all of a sudden the pool cover is sagging in the middle, the water sits on it, the water seeps through it, and it just makes a mess. So I need to figure out some way to make the water roll off, and that means keeping the middle higher than the edges so the water will run off. But I got an idea I'm going to try this year for that. We'll see if it works. Like I said, it's elaborate, but well, honestly, what the PVC umbrella stand, yeah, I guess what you could say, what I'm thinking of is sort of a variant of that. You'll see when I do it. Get a hardcover for the pool. Yeah, the problem is what do you do with it during the off season? See, I need something that I can take apart and store in a small area. But actually, Susan's suggestion is actually almost dead on what I'm thinking. Yeah, no, the place I bought the chemicals though, I asked them and they basically suggested these big inflatable pillows, but it the pillows deflate, so they don't hold air all winter. What are the dimensions of the pool? It's got a diameter of 25 feet. It's a 25-foot circle. That's 25 end to end, 12 and a half foot radius. But I got to buy a new pool cover too. The one I had last year deteriorated, and they say that it's a disposable thing. You get it for a couple years, and then you got to get a new one because it's just really thin almost like the kind of material they make blue tarps out of. But it's a really thin tarp. Can be pulled to the ceiling of the garage. Not really, because one thing, the ceiling in the garage isn't very tall. And there's a lot of stuff up there. I got lights up there, and I got the garage door opener. So no, that isn't really an option. I don't, and I have a finished garage, so it isn't like there's the framework or the or rafters up there. It's just it's a finished garage. So, but what I'm thinking is just something I can store in the backyard. Wonder if Jordan does this. I don't know. I don't know if he has a pool guy or not. Probably because my understanding he isn't at his house very often. So he probably needs to have some, because if he's gone, out vlogging 3, 4, 5 weeks, he's going to come back his pool's green. I have firsthand experience with that. Need a tarp for the pool cover, right? Exactly. Like I said, I'm going to continue experimenting with this, and we'll come up with something that works. And I think this idea will work. We'll see. You know, how many dead bodies does it take to screw in a light bulb? Well, it's not 3 because it's still dark in the basement. Thank you, Black Dot. That's a great one. I thought for a second there we had a troll. I was like, no, that's Black Dot. I know who that is. And it must be more than 100 too, because there were at least 100 dead bodies at the side of the screams last night, and it was pretty dark. Of course, I was one of them. I don't really have a whole lot of experience with storage lockers, to be able to judge prices. I know with the 2 lockers that I had before I moved into the house, I was paying what $120 a month for them, but they were big lockers. One of them was the biggest I could get, and it was like, you know, 40 feet deep and 15 feet wide or something like that. It was huge. And then the other one was probably half that size. I haven't done a head that's not how it's done video in a while. I guess I just haven't found anything in the house that, qualifies anymore. All the that's not how it's done things have been done. So I still am a little freaked out when I see how they do like electrical, because I'm used to electrical in the like I had in the house in California, and basically there's one long wire that goes, to all the outlets, and it daisy chains from one to the other. But in Texas, you'll have a wire go to one outlet, and then they'll take another wire go to the next outlet, another wire go to the next outlet, and that's how they do that. And that seems weird to me. I mean, it works, but it seems like you have more of a potential for loose connections, and that could cause sparks, which could cause a fire. So you got to make sure that you make sure all those connections, all those screws are really tightly connected. You need a she shed. Well, I have a he shed, so. But you know how it is on this channel. It's always he shed, it's always he said, she shed something. I don't know. Good joke, but I blew it, didn't I? It's always he shed. That's hard to say. He shed, she shed. He said, she said. Yeah, never mind. I can't even do it. Do I have my Halloween decorations planned out? I pretty much know what I'm going to do, and I have some ideas where things are going to go, but I'll kind of make it up on the spot when the time comes. I have been thinking that the big dummy is going to probably go get hung on the tree in the next week or two, because I already noticed that there's a couple neighbors out that have Halloween decorations out. I'll say it 5 times. I can't say it one time fast. I can't say it one time normally. He shed, she shed. Yes, yeah, I can't even do it. He shed, she shed. He shed, she shed. He said, yeah, like, okay, yeah, no. I'm not even going to try. I've humiliated myself enough on that. Yeah, I probably won't put the Christmas lights up. Christmas lights generally go up around Thanksgiving at my house. I won't do one around my neighborhood because I'm trying to keep it quiet exactly where I am. But I don't know. I might do a Halloween thing. I'm looking forward to just doing my own Halloween in my yard this year, though. Oh yeah, I'll definitely do a lot of Christmas lights. I try and add something every year to my decorations. So last year, well, the year before last, I just had the Christmas lights on the house. Last year, I bought these really kind of cool uh, starburst things that I hung in the tree, and they looked really cool. I wanted to find some giant lighted ornaments that I could hang from the tree. And I really couldn't find something, and I found those things, and those things were really cool. I assume by lounge twisters, you mean tongue twisters, and they're just the victim of uh, autocorrect here. Save myself up and down the ladder. Yeah, it isn't as much of a problem here. This is a single story house. I used to go up and down the ladder in my 2-story house in California, and that was more of an issue. This isn't really that big an issue. Well, I still have those lights that I put in the tree a couple years ago that shine up and kind of light up the underside of the canopy of the trees. I still love that. That's the perfect lighting for the house. It doesn't destroy the fact that the neighborhood is dark, but it lights up the house just a little bit. It's subtle. I like it. It's perfect. And that thing, as I said at the time, that thing was inspired by something I saw one of my neighbors do, and I thought they overdid it because they had lights up in the tree pointing to the underside of the canopy. I love that part of it, but then they had lights all over the house, as lighting up the front of the house too, um, and that was too much. What about music for the yard? Well, for Halloween, there'll definitely be sound effects because I got a couple CDs I made that feature scary Halloween sound, ghosts and moaning and screams and chains and thunderstorms and stuff like that, howling coyotes. And I all have speakers all over the yard for that. Don't overdo it like Clark Griswold. Uh, you know, we'll see if they start having to fire up nuclear reactors to power my house. I hope so. I hope my Halloween isn't too much for the neighbors. But I do like doing the lights in the on the house for Christmas. In terms of overdoing it like Clark Griswold, I'd probably do something where I do like animated something. But I got to get a good controller or figure out how to do that. Is the job still interesting to me? Yeah, I still like doing it. It's been a little dull lately because we got a couple of people who are out on leaves of absences, and so I've been on the line a lot more, and that gets a little dull. And unfortunately, I have a tendency to take a marginally operating line and make it work better. And unfortunately, the boss sees that, and so he said, "You know, do I really want to promote this guy away from line working?" Yeah, I think I have a great house for. I have a lot of property to work with, and I could have all sorts of fun doing that. I wouldn't mind doing some sort of animated thing. I need, like I said, I need a controller to do it, and I really need to explore that at some point. They got some like cheesy ones you can buy at Home Depot, but I want something that I could go in and program myself, program it to music and stuff like that. Hey, bye. How are you, buddy? Huh? Yeah, we're about the 15-minute mark again. Like I said, I try and put an ad every about 15 minutes. We're an hour and 19 right now, so it might be a minute or so on either side of it. I can kind of see where I'm talking and where I'm not talking, when I'm looking at the video in a linear mode. And so I try and drop an ad where I'm not talking, so I'm not cutting myself off in the middle of a sentence. I hate that with ads. You're in the middle of a sentence, in the middle of a thought, and boom, all of a sudden you jump away to an ad. Now you got to know what your limits are, though, and I don't think I could do cabinets on my own. There's too much I don't know about that. Hey, Mark, how's it going? How are you doing today? Good to see you again. It's been a while, I think, hasn't it, since you've been here? Maybe the ad will be right here. If you're talking about the temp here, it's getting nice to be out now. It's usually in the 50s and 60s at night. So I'm getting that's what that's one of the things I like about Texas is you get tired of the weather and about that time it starts to change. So we're kind of in that change mode now. Might be actually doing more things outside. I know there's one thing, actually two things I kind of need to do outside that'll probably get turned into vlogs at some point. But I wanted to get comfortable enough being out there so I'm not like dripping with sweat, by the time I've walked to the other end of the yard. Yeah, I suppose I could could open the windows at night if I want to. Not quite there yet. Still have the air conditioning running. Gene's checking out for church. Good seeing you, Gene. See you next week. Yeah, no Rhonda so far. Must be working today. Now Rhonda tells me the girls usually watch. So hi Charlotte. Hi Joe. Hi Logan. Hi Jessica. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. I miss hearing from you. Miss your mommy and daddy. Oh, still a little tired from last night. Wasn't really a late night though. I was out of there by about midnight. Home here about 12:30. Got to bed right before 1. But I can do that one day. It's when I try doing it 2 days in a row that it really catches up to me. I can do a long day as long as I get a good night's sleep that night. I slept pretty well last night, so that's good. Probably not going to do any traveling these holidays. How many people? It was a pretty solid from when they opened up at 8 o'clock until 11 o'clock. There was a group that would come through every 20 seconds or so. So a group might be one person, a group might be 8 or 10 people, and more often than not, it was at least 4 or 5 people. And I was in a good place, so I had a blast. I got a lot of people. I scared a lot of people last night. So I was I was the first living person in the incinerator maze. So I was their first good scare in the maze. And so I had a blast with that. I had a couple people that I scared so much they ran back out the front and never came back. So that works. That's what I'm there to do. What's the cost to enter? I don't remember what the cost is. Let me see if I can figure that out for you. I don't ever have to pay it, so I don't really think about it. Oops, too far here. Okay, Silo of Screams. SiloScreams.com. That's a good place. Let's see. All for one price. Okay, let's turn off the audio here. Let's see. Yeah, so you still got my video up from a couple years ago. That's funny. That video trends every year around this time. 29 to $32. So that isn't much. That's actually a lot less than I thought it was. And that's to see the whole thing. So yeah, there you go. That's it. 29 to $32. I would have figured for what you're getting, it's worth like $50, really. I'll be honest with you. Hey Laura Lee, I was wondering a while ago where you were. Usually are in here for the whole thing. Glad you made it. Yeah, I know. 29 to $32. That's a deal. I mean, you all got to go to that just because of how cheap it is. I'll be getting some video in there at some point. I kind of want to develop my routine first. Because nobody wants to see me, experimenting with, is this going to work? Is this not going to work? What you do need to do though is if you get a chance, go and join the Facebook page because I'll probably live stream at some point on the Facebook page. I've been known to do that before. Right now, I think it's only 300 people, something in that group. What is it in that group here? Hang on, let's see if we can figure this out here. 408 people in the group. So yeah, I don't know if you want to be one of the cool kids here and get to go and watch the stuff on the Facebook. You got to join the Facebook page here. Got to be more than 400 people on there. I mean, heck, we're approaching 4,300 subscribers. That's less than 10%, people. There he's back. Look who came to visit. Already starting up the snow blowers in Vermont, huh? And you're in full leaf mode. We're not there yet. I did notice that there is a little bit more leaf waste in the yard than there usually is, and my crepe myrtles are starting to drop their leaves. So they look kind of ugly during the winter. They look real dead, but they come back every year. Yeah, you're just an attention whore, aren't you? Yes, you are. Except when I tickle your ears. I don't know if I'll ever completely be a Texan, but I do like living here. I remember that line from the movie Jaws. When do I get to be a an islander? You're never an islander. You have to be born here to be an islander. Apparently, you didn't have to be born there to get eaten by the shark, too. No sharks here in Texas, at least not this part of Texas. This isn't a Saturday Night Live skit. There are no land sharks, right? Now, we do have land killer whales. There's one right there. I do like, though, that I've said this before, that Texas is such a friendly place. The people are so friendly. They make you feel like you belong here. I feel like I belong here more than I ever felt like I belonged in California. Yeah, Loretta Lynn passed away. That was sad. All the good ones are going. Hi, Scott. Glad you made it. You're not too late. We're still going to be here for another about 30 minutes, so plenty of time. Okay, let's get the big fat guy over here. We haven't had a belly rub yet today. Those eyes say, I'm going to kill you, but that purse says, yeah, but don't stop. Beautiful autumn day in Ohio. Yeah, it's a nice day here today, too. I think we're only supposed to get into like the mid 80s or so. It's cooling off nice at night, too. You feel do I wish I'd moved earlier? I don't know. I think maybe the timing was right when I did. My concern is everything might not have fallen into place if I'd come here earlier. But I've been thinking about fleeing California for a long time. Probably about halfway through my tenure at Disneyland. It's like not only got to get out of this place, I got to get out of this state. Opening cannabis stores in Vermont. Yeah, they were all over the place in California. Oh, Susan's checking out. Gonna go get some chili tonight. 65 degrees and sunny in Minnesota. That's nice. Oh, Laura Lee's comment got hidden because she's a fat shaming bite. That's funny. Um, Looks like Bite connected with me here. He got me a little bit. I got a little scratch from him. Thanks, Bite. I appreciate that. It's always good when you draw blood on a live stream. Frost warnings in Ohio. None of that here. We're a ways away from that. I think the lowest we're getting is maybe into the upper 50s, lower 60s. But I can live with that. That's still go out and walk at night in short pants weather. May need a tetanus shot. Nah, Bite just gets a little excited every once in a while with those hind claws. He's declawed in the front, but he's still got rear wheel drive. I think we'll survive. I think this is just a flesh wound. That's how zombie fever starts. Yeah, it could be. Zombie bites next to being a zombie anyway, right? There's a cannabis growing facility under construction not far from your house. Huh. Yeah, we're not doing any of that in Texas. That's one of those things, that's one of those decisions that needs to be decided on a state level, I think. I don't know what the right answer to that question is. And I don't think anybody in Washington does either. It's got to reflect the values of the individual community. California wants it and Texas doesn't, then so be it. Seems I just heard something that about that on the news this morning. That I guess uh, the Biden administration is trying to decriminalize marijuana at a federal level, and is encouraging governors to do it too. And I think Governor Abbott said, "No, we're not going to take criminal advice or law advice from a party that supports defunding the police." So, boom. And it's some of those social issues that if like a marijuana initiative came on the ballot, you know, in Texas, I might, at this point, I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think marijuana is any worse than alcohol. In fact, I think it's less than alcohol. But I don't want to do anything that makes Texas more like California. And because California, I mean, it might just be that one little step that takes us over the edge. But I've also been reading stories about how the state of California completely mismanaged the cannabis industry and has, damaged it so much that they're not even really making any money off of it. And I think I read an article that said something to the effect of, yeah, only California could screw up marijuana, you know, sales. Leave it to California to do that. And a lot of the stores in California, were just really transient. They'd be there for a month or two, and then they'd be gone, and then then there'd be another one somewhere else, and they'd be gone a couple months later. And I don't know. That just seems like poor administrative efforts. You like the purple martins? Yeah, yeah. Those are beautiful birds. I wish I got to see some of those live because they are really extraordinary birds. And anything that's eating bugs, that's a good thing. I don't argue with that at all. I don't like bugs at all. That's the one downside of Texas. There are bugs all over the place. That's probably why I like the purple martins. It's probably why I like the bats. Yeah, purple's a good color too. I agree. It's not my favorite color, but it's a good one. I'm more into blue, as you can guess. It's funny, I had to tone it back because about 80% of my house in California was blue. At this point, the only room in this house that's really blue is this one. Even following back into the hall there, the walls are white. Now I got the blue trim on the crown molding going all the way down the halls, so that kind of ties everything together. But most of the house in California was blue. Entire living room, dining room area, the stairwell, the common area upstairs, and the guest bedroom were all blue. Will I be in costume handing out treats this year? I don't know. I've got I've got one of those scream masks that I've been known to wear, and sometimes I wear that. A lot of times, though, I'll just dress in black and just kind of hide in the shadows and wait until kids come up and then come out and or hide behind a prop or something. I'll set props up in the yard that I can hide behind. I got this big, 8 foot tall ghoul with like a pumpkin head that's going like kind of thing, and he's big, and I'll hide behind him. But we'll figure it out. I won't be in full costume though. I got a Samsung. This is a Samsung phone here. I like it. What problems are you having with it? Hey, there's Eric. How you doing, buddy? Long time. You drive through Amish country in Ohio. A lot of Amish farms have purple martin boxes. That's cool. I guess they are. My research on them, they are all over the place. Been watching the monsters. Yeah, I just binge watched the whole series of the monsters. I'm assuming you're talking the originals, right? Not the remake that just went on what Netflix or something like that. The original with Ed Gwynn and Yvonne DiCarlo and Al Lewis, Butch Patrick, and a handful of different Marilyns. Yeah, I have no interest in even seeing the remake. I mean, I like Rob Zombie and all that, but I don't know. I just can't imagine a remake being as good as the original. There's just there was just a chemistry between uh, Herman and Grandpa. Those two just played off of each other so well. Yeah, I've had Samsungs every time I've had a smartphone. It's been a Samsung. I've been very happy with them. In fact, I really love this phone. I've had this phone now basically since I moved to Texas because right after I moved to Texas, um, my old one, the battery just kind of gave up the ghost, and then there was a software problem. And I got this one. I use this one every day, and the battery still lasts, the whole day. In fact, I got home last night from after a whole day at work and 4 hours at Silo of Screams, and there was still more than 50% of the battery. So whatever they've been doing, um, they've improved the batteries significantly. You've been having delay problems, and when you're pressing phone numbers, it will just leave the screen and you go to another screen. Yeah, that you might just have some defective technology. I've never had a problem like that with mine. The only thing I hate about this is that there's an app that's built onto the phone, and there's a little extra button here on the side of it. See, these are the two volume buttons here, and there's this button here, and you press this button, it launches that app. And unfortunately, it's right where you put your finger because the power button's here, the volume buttons are over here, and this mystery button is right here. And unfortunately, when I turn off the power, I tend to hold on to the other side, and I end up pressing that other button. It launches that app called, I don't remember what it's called here, but it's some app that's like a daily scheduling program that I've never ever wanted to use, but I've launched it hundreds of times just because I end up accidentally triggering it when I'm trying to turn the phone off. That's the only thing I've ever had with it. Got a complete series. Got the complete series. I never watched Friends, but $2 for the series, you can't complain about that, especially if the discs are in good shape. Sometimes the discs are trashed. Oh, but it's a bootleg. Okay, all right. I'm surprised Goodwill will sell bootlegs. See, I probably wouldn't do that if it was bootleg. Yeah, that's good advice, John. I do the same thing. I want to see the disc because it can be scratched or it can be damaged other ways too. DVDs are a little harder to damage other ways, but because the data is actually in the middle of the disc. A lot of people don't know this, but most DVDs are two half-inch discs glued together, or half thickness discs. Because a disc is usually, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, they're usually 1.2 millimeters thick. But with DVDs and Blu-rays, it's actually a 0.6 millimeter disc glued to another 0.6 millimeter disc. And so since the data is in the middle, it's harder to damage the data than it is on a CD. With a CD, a lot of people don't know this, but the data on a CD is actually on the label side. And so the only thing that's protecting the data is that thin coating of protective coating on the top and the print label on top of it. That's why they tell you never to use a ballpoint pen to write on a disc, because you'll damage the data underneath it very easily. Saw that happen a lot in the CD industry. Jordan just put up a meetup with a fan video, huh? That's cool. I saw you put one up today, but I thought it was something else. Maybe put up another one. Oh, Black Dot's checking out. Thanks for stopping in, Black Dot. Good seeing you again. Thanks for the Halloween joke. That was awesome. Actually, Mark, I'm kind of thinking about your delay problem on your phone. It could be that there's some app in there that's maybe chewing up a lot of clock cycles. And if it's doing that, then that might cause your delay issue. Because if the processor's spending a bunch of time running something in the background, there could be a delay between when you do something and when it actually responds. And if you get impatient and say, I pressed this, what's going on here? What's going on? And then you end up triggering 5 or 6 things, and that could cause the switching that you want. Maybe take it to the store you bought it from and have them check it and see if there's any apps running in the background that's just chewing up clock cycles. Do you notice that when you're using the phone that it feels like it's warm? Because that could be a sign that it's using a lot of power too. Jeff was here a little while ago. He's gone to lunch. Your friends just shows it was rated R, even though it's PG. And there's 24 discs or 24 episodes on one disc per season. Yeah, that's definitely a bootleg. You can do that, but when you do it, you end up, in order to fit that much onto one disc, that's like a half-hour series, right? 24 episodes. That's 12 hours of content on a single disc. Yeah, you're going to have to really compress the snot out of that to make that work. Usually you can get, I would say, maybe 8 episodes on a disc. And that's if it's a dual layer DVD, DVD 9. Amigo seems to be doing well, according to what I see from Jeff on Facebook. He's at school right now. He posted a picture a couple of days ago. Let me see if I can find it, of Amigo chilling with a local cat, or with a cat that he found. Apparently, Amigo is getting to be. Hang on, I gotta go back further here. Jeff Kidd, there he is. Yeah, there's a picture that Jeff posted the other day of Amigo checking out a cat. So I don't know. Amigo seems to be doing well. I think he's going to come along fine, and he's going to be a good dog when he gets trained. I think he's already a good dog. I don't know very many bad dogs, right? I think it's almost kind of the rule that if you're a dog, you got to be a good dog. Yeah, it's just a thought, Mark. I don't know. It might be nothing. It might be something you bring it to the store. They can say, "Oh yeah, here's what the problem is," and do it. But I know that when you have like lags on in software, that sometimes can mean that something's chewing up too many clock cycles, and it takes a moment for anything to respond. That can happen on computers too. And generally, when the processor is running really hard, it runs warm, and when it runs warm, it heats up the device, and you'll notice that. So you're not just doing audio at the football games anymore. Now you're doing camera. That's cool. That sounds like fun. That sounds like something I'd do. In fact, it sounds like something I probably will do in regarding Silo Screams. There'll be some behind the scenes stuff there too. How often do I watch something from my collection? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. I've been binge watching Star Trek Voyager right now because I just got Paramount Plus, the streaming service Paramount Plus, and all those Star Treks used to be on Netflix, and they all kind of moved away, and now they're on Paramount Plus. So I haven't been able to see that. I haven't been able to see Star Trek Enterprise in a while. So, and I guess Cobra Kai is out now with a new season, so I got to watch that too. But I want to go back and kind of watch it from the beginning, and so I can get back into the flow again. But every once in a while, I'm in the mood for a movie in my collection. and every once in a while I find something new at the store. So yeah, I hope that helps a little bit, Mark. Like I said, I'm trying to analyze a phone problem just hearing somebody talk about it online, but that's at least a possibility. Picked up the first season of 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. I never watched that show either. That was not one I was into. Controlling one of the big TV cameras. That's fun. I did a little of that when I was in college. You won 53 to 28. That sounds like a blowout. We're into our final few minutes, people. So speak now or hold your peace for a week. Where's Bite now? I think he went back to his room. Yeah, your phone should be working better than that after a few weeks. Like I said, I'm 3 years into this one, and this one's still running great for me. They've got these ones now that fold to become like a twice as big phone. I don't really want one of those though. That just seems like something's going to fail at some point. Plus the fact, that's big enough. It's big enough. It's small enough it could fit in my pocket, and big enough to do basically almost everything I need it to do. See, I've never been a person for yakking on the phone, so I was a really late adopter of cell phone technology, and only really got excited about it when smartphones came out. And that was because it was more about having like a personal computer, on me than the phone itself. The phone is just one insignificant app of the device. How much are my utility bills? I'm on Texas is deregulated electric state, so you have all sorts of options of how you want to do it, and I'm paying a flat rate that basically, I can use as much electricity as I want and just pay a flat rate each month, and so it's a little on the pricey side. I'm paying 250 or 300 a month for electricity, but in Texas, where you got to have the air conditioning on all the time, it's worth it. You still have an old Motorola flip phone and it still works and comes on. And if that's all you need, then that's great. Keep using that. Like I said, the main reason I got the smartphone was not because of the phone, but because of the smart. All the apps and internet access and connection to everything and all the things you can do with it. It's it's a little portable computer now. It's become an indispensable part of my life. Do we miss some the food segment? Yeah, we talked about food a little bit earlier, but we didn't get as obsessed with food as we often do. This one just went in other directions. I had issues with LG at the beginning. It just sounded like a cheesy brand, but I've got a few LG devices and they're actually pretty good. It's the Saw family. Yes, yes, the Saw is family. Hey, Jordan, how's it going, buddy? Really had a blast at the Flaming Lips show last week. I'm glad I went. Going to have leftovers of homemade macaroni and cheese, kielbasa, and Brussels sprouts. That sounds like an interesting combination, but it's a bunch of things I like. So a lot of people aren't into Brussels sprouts, but I am. I said it a little earlier, Jordan. I actually think I like Particle Kid better just because I knew nothing about them. I knew what I was expecting with Flaming Lips, and they didn't disappoint me. It was an amazing show, but Particle Kid completely blew me away. They are a great band. And it was fun being right there in the front. Yeah, Jordan can weigh in on the Elvis movie. He didn't like it. I remember him posting on Facebook a picture of like the Elvis movie poster in the background with his thumb going like this. That was a great venue to see the Flaming Lips too. Nice, simple little venue. Look up the Particle Kid time capsule. I'll do that. Because I definitely got to check them out more. I found I liked them a lot for a lot of the same reasons I was into the grunge movement. The loud driving beats, the kind of depressing, dreary progressions and chords and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely worth a listen, Mark. I saw Jaw. Jaw was good a week ago. I assume not much has changed. Speaking of good dogs, I buy their CD. There are random time capsules you can win. Micah makes the time capsules and posts a video of making the time capsules. Huh, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to definitely go look that up. I'll Google that right now here. Particle Kid time capsule. Okay, that's the album, huh? Okay. I'll definitely check that out. Now I got it on the phone here. Check it out while we're doing our project for the day. Well, anyway, I think I've done my 2 hours. I got a vlog to do today, so I'm going to pull the plug on this one. Thanks everyone for stopping in. Had a great time today. I'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.